Hello, I'm Paddy O'Donnell. I'm Global Ambassador and Colour Consultant for Farrow & Ball. And recently I've just started doing colour consultancy in North America, which is very exciting on the East Coast. Virtual colour consultancy at Farrow & Ball is gaining momentum. We started about 5 years ago, so it allows us to reach out to people who wouldn't have access to our own home service. Here we are in the home of Tony Liu, Diet Prada, in the historic district of Brooklyn. And it's just lovely, and it's full of really sweet details that sort of echo that period and vernacular. So this is really exciting, because Tony and I had met because he was a guest on our podcast, The Criminologist. And I knew Tony was buying a flat, so it kind of felt like a good sort of continuation of relationship building with the client. Let's kind of really dig into the flat, because we talked about that as part of the Criminologist dialogue anyway. So it was really lovely. So we first met online, and he just gave me this enormous email. It was hilarious, and I was kind of reading it. I got so excited because there are all these extraordinary reference points that I was kind of like, that's exciting. That's exciting. This guy has a really clear vision. So I just wanted to be on that journey with him and help him bring that vision to life. So here we are in Tony's study. The original reference point was essentially a garden room, and then it kind of sort of morphed, and Tony and I were discussing the sort of triage in the garden room at Cecil Beaton's house at Reddish House in Wiltshire in England. Also the colours from Monet, Giverny in the garden and in the interiors. It sort of just came by mistake, really, with these slightly clashing greens. And so you've got green ground on the wall with a slightly more acidic trim of churlish, and then a very soft sort of green white of James White on the ceiling. And then actually even the little accent of the French daybed painted in olive, another archive colour. So this kind of layering and layering of greens is just, it's lovely. Moving to Tony's living room, Tony's reference point here was Dior and couture, and this almost kind of soft pink sort of taffeta moire. That became kind of our starting point. We ended up with the lovely pink ground, which is this really soft pink that actually is stronger in the morning and then neutralizes almost to just this blush off-white during the latter part of the day when the sun streams in. And then we just paired it with a classic combination of pointing on the ceiling, just to add that little bit of tension in the sort of the foyer part of the sitting room. We just added some weight and structure with mahogany in eggshell on the trim. And it's just really, really nice plum that just complements the pink. It's just a very gentle, calming space and transitions beautifully off this green study. So now we're moving from the foyer to the hall. This is always going to be a problematic space because there is no natural light in here. It's filtered light coming off from open doors of other rooms. And I just said to Tony, let's lean into this, lean into the dark. It's usually the best solution. If a space is dark, go dark. So we chose this lovely, really warm but magenta licked kind of chocolate called London Clay, another archive color of ours. So it has lots and lots of warmth, even though it's supremely dark. And we actually color drenched in here. Just comes off that foyer, so you're almost pulling the mahogany on the trim work back into the chocolate again as we move through the space. So we're moving through the hallway and we're moving into Tony's bedroom now. And the reference points are really playful here and actually sort of all over the place. We had Regency, we had 40s Hollywood cinema, we had Prada and kind of the ugly palette. So we had all these brilliant reference points. We just settled on this beautiful palette, this calm palette, Palmer Grey, which is slightly sort of cool, but cleanish blue with a little bit of black, stops it feeling too sharp. And then we just use this lovely blue white or cabbage white on the ceiling. Tony bought this brilliant rug, which is this lovely, slightly acidic green, verging on grass. So you kind of got this sense of this lovely verdant field and these sky blue walls sort of enveloping you. So you've got this lovely kind of tension of nature. So these reference points bouncing and fighting with each other, but then feeling really cohesive once put together. I think this project is a really, really good example of the power of color, fundamentally. One, this is quite a small apartment. Two, we've made quite bold, specific choices in each space because we actually thought about colors that would work with the lighting restrictions or limitations. I'm kind of an editor, but I'm also there to help you achieve your perfect home and the vision that you want to get through color, through light, and adding your own personality to the space.